Beag.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sure Look, Sure Listen, the podcast that takes a pop at culture. Sure Look, Sure Listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look. Sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen.
Sure look, sure listen. Oh, very good, Ben. What a fabulous intro. But sure, look, we don't have time to talk about how good that intro was or how bad the IDF are, because we've got a load of stuff to look at this week, including there's a new Garfield movie starring the only voice actor in the world. Ghostbusters are back, and this time they've got a frozen pizza. Avatar is back also, and this time it better not be shit. Also, there's a trailer for the new movie which continues the trend of Millie Bobby Brown turning into Scarlett Johansson, Damsel. Plus, the two of us, you and I, have seen all of Loki. Plus, the one of us, just me, has seen all of the Marvels.
Sure, listen, Michael, if that wasn't enough... Okay, I'm going to have to stop here, Michael, because that's a lot of a conceit. There's clearly enough on our running order this week.
Too much.
Too fucking much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've found ourselves at the breaking of the dike, ladies and gentlemen. The SAG-AFTRA strike has come to an end, and there's been a deluge of promos and marketing, and it's actually disgusting. It's
just content all the way down, Ben. It's content, non-stop content.
I've never been against our podcast so much as right now. I'm just like, it's too much. I don't like being part of this greasy machine we call marketing and capitalism. Ugh, disgusting.
Speaking of greasy capitalism, Ben, the SAG-AFTRAs. The old actors, Ben, those poor old actors working down 9 to 5 in the old acting mines, they've finally been awarded equal pay or whatever.
That's not what happened, Michael. The SAG-AFTRA strike ended last week, Michael. Mid-afternoon, there were literally people on red carpets who heard during their red carpet that they were allowed to talk about the movie they were on the red carpet to promote.
Yeah, get on there, Brie Larson. Talk about the Marvels, goddammit.
There's like, seriously, all the actors had been lulled into a false sense of, I don't have to do any spin. That's nice. And then, oh, no, wait, hang on. Straight back into it. Very interesting stuff, Michael. Very interesting stuff indeed. The AI sticking point for the actors. They don't want their identities, their likeness used in perpetuity, has been somewhat hammered out. We don't have the full details yet, sadly, ladies and gentlemen. We will try and get them for you in the future. We might get in touch with a friend of ours who is not on the podcast but does follow our podcast, who always seems to have an inside scoop. We must ask him.
I'll give him a little tinkle bell. I'll give him a little tinkle and say, what's going on?
What's the deal? With the SAG-AFTRA strike ending? But so Michael, apparently every single marketer had blue balls, and what we got the second that ended was just a wave of corporate American spunk. We just got hit in the face with content after content after stuff we didn't even hear rumours of, Michael, had full trailers waiting in the wings to slap us in the face. It
Benjamin,
was terrible.
I have a face on me like a painter's radio, but instead of jism, it's content.
It's content. Michael, it was fucking awful.
Anyway, look, Ben.
Yeah.
One of the most depressing and awful releases is the new movie Garfield, the Garfield movie.
Michael, I couldn't understand why you put this on the running order, because
I just love fat ginger cat spit.
You do have, in fairness, he's a fairly svelte ginger cat. He's not fat.
Very svelte, yeah. He's not fat
he's
at all.
very svelte. He's not fat at all.
Watch your mouth.
I didn't even say it, Michael.
Very svelte.
I didn't even say it. He's a very svelte ginger cat, Edward.
He's
Hello.
a very handsome fella.
He's a very handsome fella. Cut of his father, they say.
Yeah.
They say.
Yeah,
very handsome ginger fella. Definitely svelte. Yeah. So, come here to me.
What is it?
I thought that it was originally your great love of ginger cats that perhaps drove you to put this on our running order. Because, Michael, as far as wheelhouses go, this is a bit of a square for us.
It's also, Ben, don't forget, I also love lasagna.
You are mad for lasagna. It's true.
Mad for lasagna. I even say lasagna, Ben. I don't even pronounce it the way you normal people do. I say lasagna.
Yeah, no, it's really awkward when we go out to eat. You literally speak with a Dublin accent for the entire thing until you lock eyes with whoever the waiter of the evening is, and you say, "I want the lasagna," and we all kind of go, "All right."
I say to him, Ben, this is what I say to him, Ben. This is what I say to him. I says, come here. Would you give us 2 portions of lasagna?
And it always
and
ends
si,
with this-
signore, no problemo.
They know instantly, Michael, that you are an Italian man. Anyway, Michael, I couldn't understand why this was on the running order, because the first 2 minutes of this trailer is the greatest fucking schlock I've ever seen. And then a voice escaped from the cat, Michael. And I thought it was going to be Bill Murray, because I've been conditioned to think that live-action cats are Bill Murray. That's what I was hoping for. And instead I got a reedy, nasally, middle-of-the-road, boring as shite American accent.
Yeah. Guess who it was?
It was the only man, apparently, who's allowed to work in voice acting anymore. Chris Pratt.
Old Crispy Rat himself, Benjamin. This is a corporate dystopian hellscape where every popular character is just voiced by Crispy Rat for some reason.
Michael, what the fuck are they thinking? Like, what is this?
It's fucking gas. Ben, here's the thing, right? Do you remember when Crispy Rat played Super Mario?
Yeah.
Remember when it was just Chris Pratt, but saying Super Mario's words?
Yeah.
$1.3 billion.
And I made a lot of money, but I don't think it's Crispy Rat.
It is, Ben. People only want to hear from Crispy Rat.
Oh, say it isn't so, Michael.
That's what it is. He's going to be the only voice actor. He's going to do all the men. He's going to do all the women. He's going to do all the robots. It's just going to be Crispy Rat from top to bottom.
Bizarre, Michael. It's so strange for him to be. No other people were announced apart from Samuel L. Jackson, who's playing his father. To which I say, what a weird pairing.
Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Samuel L. Jackson is in it as Garfield's dad. Because if there's one thing I've asked myself over the years, Michael, of watching a fat ginger cat eat lasagna, or as you'd say, lasagna.
I'd say lasagna.
Yeah, you'd say it just like that. I wonder what his dad was like. I wonder where Garfield's dad is.
What we've always wanted to see was Garfield's origin story, but with the voice of generic man Chris P. Rat.
Yep, that's what we were involved in. And it's just real
Great stuff. Anyway, Ben, we don't have time to get too worried about that because the world is going to be frozen over by big spooky ghosts.
Michael, what the fuck is going on in Frozen Empire?
Well, Benjamin, ghosts are back.
Yeah.
But these are cold ghosts. I think that's the gist of this. It's cold ghosts.
Spooky, scary ghostingtons sending shivers up your spine and through your veins, according to Dan Aykroyd.
According to Dan Aykroyd, Ben. They've got Dan Aykroyd back. They've got Ernie Hudson back. They've got Bill Murray back.
Bill Murray. They don't.
They've got... Go on.
No, they don't have the other guy because he died.
He died, yeah.
Yeah, it's very sad.
That's not funny, man.
I didn't say it was funny. I just said he died.
It's very sad.
Very sad. Yeah. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a somber break from the podcast. Anyway, come here to me. This is Paul Rudd again. Paul Rudd's back in the cinema.
Finn Wolfhard is back in the cinema.
Not to cast aspersions. He aged weird. he lost
he's
that.
Always a weird looking.
He lost that early Stranger Things kind of, child actor. Like, oh, this is cute, and now it's just like, Anyway,
Ben, the Ghostbusters are back, and it's bloody Paul Rudd, it's bloody Flynn Wolfhard, it's bloody Nora from The Leftovers. I think that was her name, and it's the girl.
The one who looks exactly like Egon in a very strange.
Yeah. And the main thing that people seem to be saying about this that provides some sort of excitement is apparently, now here's a big apparently for you, Ben. Apparently, They're going for the vibe of the animated series from the 1980s and 90s.
Well, now, that is a bit of a win, Michael, because the animated series from the late 1980s and early 90s was genuinely creepy and unnerving. There were some weird things happening in the animated series, and it gave rise to a whole bunch of creepy and weird cartoons, including the Men in Black animated spin-off. Do you remember that?
I do indeed, Benjamin. The original Ghostbusters cartoon is actually quite good and quite effective, and it does have some very good horror episodes.
It does, genuinely. It unnerved me as a child.
Yeah, some real shit ones as well, obviously.
Yeah, but that's pretty standard when you make a TV show with the express intention of selling toys.
Selling toys is very important. Anyway, look, probably
Yeah.
go and see it, but not super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm surprised it exists. I didn't think that the last Ghostbusters sequel, which was a sequel to the sequel starring all the women.
No, it wasn't a sequel to that, Ben.
No, it wasn't, but it was a successor in some senses, Michael, without narrative ties. Because nobody liked that one, Michael. Do you remember?
Nobody liked that one, Ben. That one never happened. I don't know what you're
Not
talking
'cause-
about. There was no one with all the women.
Not because they were women. It's because it was shit.
Yeah, but it was shit because they were women, wasn't it?
Ah, fuck off. Right.
Isn't that what it was?
That's not what it was, Michael.
That's what you're getting at, isn't it?
Look at you. But, ladies and gentlemen, you can't see it, but Michael has grown a cartoonishly large moustache that droops over the side of his face, specifically for that joke, and he's twiddling it like some kind of Dick Dastardly. Oh, he's having a great time. Look, if you look at the background, he's captured some blonde woman in black and white, and he's tied her to the Lewis tracks outside his home. It's shocking.
The bloody Lewis delays for once, wouldn't it, Ben?
I fucking tell you, public transport, my hole.
Get out of here.
Right.
Get out of here. Anyway, Ben,
Yeah.
speaking of rubbish with too many women in it, do you remember
Oh, God.
M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender?
That didn't have many women in it, Michael. I think that was one of the problems.
I think it had Nicola Peltz in it.
I don't know who that is. That's just a name to me, Michael.
It's Brooklyn Beckham's wife.
That means nothing to me. Vienna. But come here to me. We got a live action trailer finally for the wonderful world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is getting a bloody... Did I say that correctly? Avatar: The Last
No.
Airbender?
No,
I didn't. What did I say?
Give it another
Airbender?
Airbender.
Airbender?
Avatar: The Last Airbender, you said there. It was a bit Northern Ireland, a bit pirate.
Bit pirate. Yar. Be you an Airbender.
I am Avatar: The Last Airbender.
We really just do this podcast for ourselves at this point, Mick.
Yeah. And the more than 500,000 social media
600,000
impressions.
randomers.
Yeah, weird. Very strange. and
Oh,
upsetting.
we live in a strange world, Michael. Come here to me.
What is it?
This is exciting for a lot of people who grew up with the animated series of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And M. Night Shyamalan got his hands on it at one point, Michael. And to say that he butchered a beloved bloody franchise is an absolute understatement. My dog has just entered the room to say hello.
People didn't love it, Ben.
They hated it, Michael. They hated it.
They thought it wasn't great.
They thought it was shit, Michael, because
Go on.
it wasn't.
It wasn't great. Is that what it was? That it was a very bad film?
Yeah, it was a very bad film. That'll often get people against it.
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember anything about it.
I've also seen it. I think I saw it on a plane once, Michael, and just blocked it out immediately.
Here, come here, though. Here, listen
What?
to me. Come here.
What?
This one seems to have, first of all, cast people of the right... Now, I know this is something that you fully believe in, but cast people of an appropriate race?
Oh, you fucker. How dare you?
That's what you're always saying, isn't it?
No, I always say white makes right, Michael. That's what I'm saying.
That is what you say.
That is what I say. Yeah. If it's all right, it's all white. Or if it's alt-right, it's all white. It depends on which way you look at it. Right, that's us cancelled for the afternoon. That's it from us, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd like to find me, I've left all of my social media channels open, so you can go and bully me there whenever you're ready.
No, Benjamin, you've gone to the well on that joke too many times today. That's the second time you've done that joke today. I'm not having it anymore. New jokes, Colopy.
You listen here, right?
Yeah,
We've been
I'm
doing
listening.
this for fucking 700 episodes at this point, Michael. I can't do it anymore.
You have to do it, Ben. The social media impressions, Benjamin. You have to do it.
Right.
Right,
because we're slowly unspooling live on air, ladies and gentlemen. This looks to be very good.
Does it? I can't tell. I think it looks about the same as the movie. What makes this better than the movie?
I think a more faithful interpretation of the characters, not only in terms of ethnicity, Michael, but also in terms of actual physical resemblance to those characters. There's a few classic people thrown in there, Michael. Some solid actors that we all know. Your man from Kim's Convenience is playing fan favourite Uncle Iroh.
Oh, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee.
Yeah.
Who's that Mr. Kim?
Yeah. Who's doing great for
very
himself. He's done so well from his Canadian comedy. Simu Liu must be spitting in fury because he tried to spin off on his own and he did terrible Marvel movies that nobody really likes, and now he has little meltdowns on social media all the time, but not the fella that's going to be doing this. He's going to have a great time. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, he's Uncle Iroh, fan favourite character Uncle Iroh. Daniel Day Kim is in there as well as Fire Lord Ozai.
One of your favourites, Benjamin. The reason you watched the first 3 seasons of Lost.
Because he's a prick. Fire Lord Ozai, not Daniel Day Kim. Daniel Day Kim is lovely.
That's what we've been told.
That's what we've been told. But anyway, there's a few faithful things there. The CGI looks like it's made something of an effort, Michael, which is always nice to see. In this modern age of AI and technology, there's been an effort made with the CGI. I don't know how it's going to go, Michael. I think you're going to lose a lot of the joy of the animation. The animation is a lovely cartoon. It's a real gentle watch to stick on, and it's just a good time.
Having said that, Benjamin, Netflix did a very good job on Bendy Arm Man. What was that called? One Piece.
One Piece, yeah.
One Piece got great reviews. One Piece was seen as the saviour of live-action adaptations of beloved animes. And I know, obviously, that this isn't really an anime because it's American.
Exactly. Very interestingly, it's still anime, Michael. We had a great comment on, I think it was TikTok, from one of our followers on TikTok who pointed out to me, because last week or the week before, I had made a slight error, Michael, in saying that, anime was a particular style, and he looked at it more as a genre of a vehicle, Michael, for various genres. It's more of a tool than a genre in itself, and I think that's a good way of looking at it, because Avatar: The Last Airbender is an American... Avatar: The Last Airbender is... I can't say it. I'm like Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm like Benedict Cumberbatch in Penguins. I just can't say it. But come here to me. It was an American anime. They used kind of a traditional Asian style of animation to bring that story forward. And it was set in, I suppose, an Asian-inspired universe, Michael.
What was the name of it again? Sorry, one last time?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Very good. Yeah. Benjamin, it's a tight 8 and they're all coming out in February.
They're all coming out in... We love a tight 8 here at the podcast, Michael. And it's coming out in February. Speaking of things that are coming out next year, Michael.
Yes.
Damsel is a thing that's happening.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's about the most you can say about it.
That's about the most you can say about it. Now, Michael, we have seen this film come out a few thousand times. Damsel, starring Millie Bobby Brown. It's due to come out. I will say, Michael, that this grabbed me quite a bit. I thought this was an interesting looking trailer. Number one, because it didn't do the echoey 1980s slow-mo theme tune. It just did something. Yeah, they forgot. I don't know what they did there. But so they've brought this out, and we've seen this a few thousand times, Michael. We got the Snow White interpretations from that lovely young one from the Twilight series whose name escapes
Kristen
me.
Stewart.
Thank you very much. She did those. We got a few more of these. Maleficent had the same sort of style. It's kind of a postmodern take on the princess.
Yeah, but she don't need no
fairy
man,
tales.
Benjamin, because she's actually going to become the sword-wielding hero.
Because she will become a man. She will forsake her femininity to become the man. Yes. What a healthy thing to teach people.
Very good. Oh, he's gone. Ben's just gone, ladies and gentlemen. I think he has been kicked out of the meeting. Did the feminists get you, Ben? What happened there?
They just immediately out of nowhere got me. But come here to me, Michael.
What?
This is an interesting looking thing, isn't it?
No.
Oh, all right.
I don't think it is at all. I don't think it is at all. I think, first of all, the trailer, without really... It doesn't say, once there was a woman who was sacrificed to a dragon by her evil stepmother, Robin Wright. But it might as well have.
You've actually pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Michael. The premise, as it's given to us from the marketing department at Netflix, is a dutiful damsel agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to discover it was all a trap.
Oh, bloody knew it.
The royal family recruited her as a sacrifice to repay an ancient debt. She is then thrown into a cave with a fire-breathing dragon, having to solely rely on her wits and will to survive. So there you go.
Yeah. And I bet you she starts off as a normal princess and she's in a dress and it gradually gets torn and ripped away as she becomes tougher and more badass.
That's exactly what happens, Michael.
And
that's
then she
exactly
either
what
beats
happens.
it up or befriends it.
Yeah. It's got a big cast, mind you.
Who's in it? Millicent Robert Brown.
Yes, Millicent Robert Brown. Angela Bassett.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What's she doing?
Robin W. Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Ray Winston. Misogyny himself, Ray Winston.
Is he playing either misogyny or the dragon?
He's playing the king. He'll probably double and do the voice for the dragon as well, hopefully.
Yeah, and just the concept of misogyny.
Do you think the dragon will turn out to be a nice creature that they've trapped down there in a big misunderstanding?
No, I think the dragon will be toxic masculinity.
Oh, very good. Very good. Cool.
I think it'll be either just an embodiment of it or a metaphor, as it were.
In fairness, Michael, we should all be working on our toxic masculinity, in fairness.
Should we? I don't believe in it, Ben, as a concept.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
No. Yeah, no.
Why would you?
Believe. What? Why would I? Did you say?
Why would you? Why would you?
Yeah, why would I?
No,
Why
that's
would
what I
I?
mean.
I don't believe it.
I didn't stutter. So this got released in the wave of Netflix geeked plethora that we got. Netflix had their Geeked Weekend, which is essentially their own little Disney Plus summit. What was that called again?
Netflix swoosh?
Oh no, it's
Clickety
Geeked.
boop?
No, it's called
is it?
Geeked. But
is it?
I can't remember what it's called on Disney.
Disney Fan Expo or something.
Welcome. Yeah, that's it. Good man. So they had this weekend. We got loads of announcements. Bloody Umbrella Academy Season 4 has been announced. Final season. To no one's shock. And then, a few different things announced as we went along. But this was one of them. It seemed to be in our wheelhouse. I'll probably give it a watch, Michael, because I like mythological, folkloric, fairy tale reinterpretations. I don't think it'll trod any new ground. As I said, we've had this before in the likes of Maleficent and bloody Snow White and the Huntsman.
Very good, Benjamin. Speaking, Benjamin,
yes,
of mythological related retreadings of the world, we've both seen all of Loki.
Michael, we've actually finished a Disney Plus series. And
no, I've seen every Disney Plus series, Ben.
I know, but you didn't enjoy it, Michael. How did you feel about this one?
This was good, wasn't it? What a nice surprise.
It was so fucking good, man. Loki Season 2 is, for me, the best Marvel TV show now. It has surpassed, I think, any of the others we've seen, for me, not including Daredevil Season 1, maybe. That really holds a special place in my little heart.
Yeah, well, Jessica Jones Season 1. But if we're only counting Disney, yes, it is easily the best series of a show that Disney have done. And not only that, it also, in its joyful wrapping up of the whole thing, not only improves on Loki season 1, it's not only better than Loki season 1, but its very existence also makes Loki season 1 better.
Yeah, it's insane. They've done such a good job.
Such a fantastic series and such a great wrap up that it even redeems my personal hatred, Ben, of stories which take place using mostly time travel and take place outside of the timeline. It even sorts that out.
Yeah, there are real life consequences, real life stakes, interesting character development. They've you know when you buy a suit, Michael, and you buy a cheap suit, and I'm always buying cheap suits, Michael. You're a man of taste and class, Michael. You've got cigars and cognac on tap.
No, I don't smoke.
It's very alarming when you pull that tap and cigars flow out like water. I don't know how you afford it.
Liquid cigars. It's disgusting.
You know when you buy those cheap suits and they have little threads hanging out of them in different places, Michael. No. They've trimmed all the threads in season 2. They got rid of some of the awkward stuff that nobody wanted to touch, like a snog between two variants that shouldn't maybe have snogged.
Oh, that was the sexiest bit though, Ben.
Yeah, but a lot of us were like, I don't know.
Who hasn't want to kiss a female version of themselves?
Oh, I'm not saying that, Michael. I had no issue with it. If anything, that would really complete a lifelong dream for me. But I'm just saying, as a general rule, it's one of those things, you know. But this was phenomenal, Michael. We can do spoilers because we've gotten through the full season now, I suppose. But you're right. This improved on everything.
Improves on everything. So, Ben, okay, we let's just stick it out there. We're going straight into spoilers.
Yep.
So, to my mind, this season has ups and downs.
Go on.
For example, I know you loved the Victor Timely stuff, but I found that diversion to go and get Victor Timely and chase him around an old-timey theme park, I found that a bit boring.
Sure. I think having watched the whole season, it's definitely the low point.
Yeah. There's a bit of a fetch quest in the middle where it's like, this could have been 10 minutes.
Yep.
But, and then the second to last episode where he time jumps through time and dimensions and re-meets all of his friends, some of that is a bit more potential than payoff.
Sure.
So, for example, finding out that Mobius used to be a jet ski salesman called Dawn. Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's cool.
One of my favourite things in reaction to that, Michael, was there were about 6 or 7 articles that came out directly in the wake of that where they're like, oh, now Mobius's jet ski obsession takes on a much more sinister angle now that it's been revealed. And I was like, no, it doesn't. That's
the whole point. We knew that. That was the whole point the whole time.
And they kept trying to spin it into something that I was like, no, the whole point is that it was a red herring and we thought that Mobius had some deep, dark affinity for No, he's just a jet ski salesman.
Just a jet ski. He just loves jet skis. And then, I mean, the whole thing of going back and getting Hunter B-15, and she turned out to be a doctor in New York in 2012. Why do you pick New York in 2012? What happened in New York in 2012?
Yeah, why wouldn't you show us the Avengers? Why wouldn't you have something to do with that? Even as a shaking room, as the invasion starts.
Yeah, or just have her be anywhere else in the entire history of time and space.
Like, one of my favourite ones was the character whose name I cannot remember on bloody prison
Alcatraz.
on San Francisco.
Frank.
Alcatraz. Yeah, Frank. Great. What a great weird twist for him.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Such an interesting series, Michael, in terms of elevating what came before. So I think one of the major differences, Michael,
yes.
I'm going to say this in as gentle a way as I can. Season 1 was directed in its entirety by Kate Herron.
Okay.
Kate Herron had nothing to do with season 2.
Okay.
I think that's notable in the fact that, and you can tell me I'm wrong here, but Sylvie is seriously underutilized in season 2.
I wouldn't say underutilized. She's sidelined.
She's sidelined. And I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I'm quite interested in that because I really liked Sylvie in season 1. But she's just there to challenge Loki on his perception of things. That's all she is. She's just a mouthpiece for... But in the end, she's wrong. That's the thing I find most interesting. There's a huge switch in perspective between... Because in season 1, Sylvie is all about freedom. Freedom no matter the cost. And then to hell with what happens. To hell with the consequences, because free will is the most important thing. She has a very Lucifer-esque role in season 1. In this, she tries to bring that back. And in the end, in the final 2 episodes, it's just like, no, you were wrong. You were so wrong.
I think one of the main strengths of this season, and something that it remembers to do, is it makes the compelling and popular character Loki the main character.
Yeah, because it wasn't that in season 1.
No, it was, look at Mobius and Sylvie, aren't they both gas? Aren't our original fan fiction characters better than the character you tuned in to see?
And then they were demagicked, they were ungodded, and people were like, oh, okay. I mean, he's still fun because it's Tom Hiddleston and the man basically sweats charisma. But, they have a cream for that, but he wouldn't need it because he's got a multi-million-dollar career. But come here to me. They do just remember that the show is called Loki, and they never make a fool of him in season 2.
No. He gets to do his powers. He gets to maybe be a bit of a baddie and a bit of a goodie. He gets to have high points and low points. He gets to understand what's happening to him, seize control of his own agency, and make an incredible decision that's simultaneously absolute fucking nonsense, but also the best thing that could have happened to this show.
Perfect.
Absolute, complete and utter horseshit.
Oh, yeah.
But... fabulous. And such a great decision that they spend an episode introducing the whole concept of the power of stories over the power of science. So basically you have a whole episode where Short Round from Indiana Jones is telling you, hey guys, don't worry about things making sense and stuff. Because sometimes the story's more important.
Fiction is all about the why, guys.
And then you go, okay, there's some horseshit coming, but they've earned it.
Oh, it's good horseshit, though.
It's fabulous horseshit. Some of the best horseshit that's ever been committed to screen.
And I lapped it up, Michael. I made a fan poster during the week of that exact quote from Ki Hui Kwan.
Oh, that's the first time you've ever even attempted his name, and I think you got it right.
I think I got it right. I made a fan poster that hit me like a brick wall, Michael, and I was like, that is a penultimate episode and a half. And then I got to the finale, Michael. Jesus Christ, it took my breath away.
Absolutely fabulous stuff. So Benjamin, there's precedent for this happening in the comic.
There is.
Yes, tell us what happens.
So in the Marvel comics, Michael, there is a character known as the God of Stories. And the God of Stories is, in different points, it's Loki. Loki becomes the God of Stories. And it's an entity in the beginning, and Loki kind of has to take his place. But he is essentially the unifying principle of the universe, especially in the comics. And he was introduced...
quite recently.
He's a very recent addition. He was created by Lee Garbett, and that was in... It's not going to give me the year.
No, what are you doing? Sorry. You're looking up Wikipedia about it. It doesn't matter.
No. But anyway, the God of Stories is something that Loki becomes. He's a unifying force within the Marvel Universe.
and he becomes no longer the god of lies, Ben. He's the god of stories. But Benjamin, that whole scene where he ascends the staircase that he's making while grasping the various timelines and filling them full of Loki green magic.
Yep.
Everything got very Neil Gaiman. Everything got very metatextual.
Oh, so Neil Gaiman, Michael. This is Neil Gaiman's bread and butter. Neil Gaiman is on his phone to a lawyer somewhere.
He's going, bloody, I was too busy making my masterclass where you can learn from me, Neil Gaiman, how to make stories.
I should have been bloody writing for Marvel and making a mint.
But Benjamin, he grabs all the bloody threads and he pulls them all together, and there's no more sacred timeline, and there's no more and he makes Idrisil, Ben.
That's the best part.
Fucking great stuff.
This is such a phenomenal tribute to Loki as a character, because it's a very healthy evolution from the god of lies to a god of stories. Those are practically the same thing, except that we view lies as inherently negative and we view stories as inherently good. In Western culture, at least. I don't know. I can't speak to other cultures. But it's so interesting that he makes that transition. There is so much homage paid to his heritage as a Norse god in season 2. They have the little throwaway moment in the theme park where he looks at the carving on the hall, and then we get the score. Michael, is something that blew me away. I really had to pay attention to it in season 2. It's a woman called Nicola Holt, I think. I'll try and find that and get that correct. She wrote the entire score for season 2, and she runs these beautiful Norse Viking instruments throughout it with synth and kind of stuff like that to make this amazing sci-fi soundtrack. And you can hear it whenever it becomes emotional. She really amps up the Norse instruments to show that Loki is going through something. It's a phenomenal achievement. But anyway, lots of different iterations saying different things. And then it's a wonderful homage to his original goal as Loki. And you see it in the recap. He says glorious purpose. That's what he wants. And he finally gets his glorious purpose, but it's not in any way that he ever would have thought. And then the fact that it's all Yggdrasil, the Norse tree of life, is phenomenal.
Fucking absolutely great stuff. And great episode leading up to it where he's going through time and like spending centuries. I was watching him spending centuries learning astrophysics, going, that'd change a person.
Yeah, and it does.
And it does. It doesn't do a Doctor Who bullshit where he spends millennia doing something and then he pops back out of the TARDIS and goes, well, I've spent millennia doing that, but I'm the same person exactly.
I've done it now. I've got the answer.
Yeah. Let's forget about that by the next episode.
The subtle way they give him a maturity change. There's no more posturing from Loki. There's no more drama from him. He's very direct all of a sudden. Because Loki is not traditionally a direct character. It's not a thing that he does. One of my favourite things, I think, was when we got to see him sit down again with He Who Remains. And the two of them are now approaching equal status. Because Loki is doing this again and again. And it's heavily implied that He Who Remains has been on a similar journey.
Yeah.
In a different faction. And then Loki makes the ultimate call. He breaks the system. And it does... My favourite bit about this, Michael, is it saves Marvel a fucking headache.
Absolutely. So this show now simultaneously didn't happen, but also gives them a new origin story for the whole multiverse.
Yep.
And they don't have to write Loki in or out or acknowledge him or anything like that.
He's there all the time, everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking some of the best wrapping up of a story you could... Because I never really liked the concept of this show.
Yeah.
Of, let's go back and get Loki when he was a baddie and just spin him out of that. And he was a variant. He was a loose thread.
He's not our Loki.
No, he's not the Loki that we grew to love.
Yep.
He was baddie Loki.
Yep.
And They spun him out, and there was that scene in the first one where he watched the next 5 years of his life in a montage, and it completely changed his personality.
Yep.
Poor shit. But this wraps this series up so spectacularly, both in terms of storytelling and just neatness of narrative. Now, Ben, from a logic point of view, it's still complete horseshit.
Oh yeah, but you're gonna have MacGuffins be MacGuffining, baby. You're not gonna get away. It's too grand a concept to not have horseshit in it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to smudge some of the lines. Do you know what I mean? It's just gonna have to go that way. One of the things that I enjoyed the most about this is that they even sidelined the TVA, because the TVA are now just Kang hunters. So when or if Jonathan Majors gets convicted, they can just be like, why did we never see Kang again?
TVA got him.
TVA got him. The TVA has turned into a Kang hunting authority. That's what they are. They've gone from the TVA to the KHA, which is far too close to the KKK for my liking. But anyway, so that's what they're doing now. They're hunting Kangs. Yeah.
Which could either be great motivation for Kang for future villain, or a great way to get rid of him if Jonathan Majors turns out to be a big baddie.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we speak, just before we move on, I know we're very tight on time, but I have to speak about the visual of Loki becoming God of Stories. Fucking magic.
Incredible stuff, Ben. Do you see when he grew a helmet and it was made of the same kind of gold-threaded rock material as the fortress at the end of time? Yeah.
Amazing.
Great. When all his clothes disintegrated off, all his stupid office clothes that he's been wearing for 2 seasons, and he
becomes a god
Loki
again. Yeah, just becomes a proper god again.
Fan-dabby-dozy.
I think that the greatest simultaneous victory and insult of this kind of end to the character, because Tom Hiddleston has come out and said that this is a great way for me to finish 14 years of my life. So I think Tom Hiddleston is done as Loki.
And so he should be.
He's ended on the best note he could have ended on.
Yes.
But contrasting him and his on-screen brother of Thor now, they're the most polar opposite things. Thor got mistreated and thrown away as a character by Marvel, and Loki has emerged with this amazing end to his arc.
Yeah, fabulous. It really redeems season 2. It was such a meaningful and impactful way to end the season. Speaking of which, Ben, I saw Marvels and it's the opposite.
Very good. Tell me more.
Anyway, Ben, I saw the Marvels there the other day. I think I might have been the only one.
Yes. Did you not go with pals of the podcast?
I did go with pals, Benjamin. What I'm saying is that it has become the biggest box office flop in Marvel history.
Yeah.
It has done 47 million domestically, which is what the arrogant Americans call US and Canada.
Right. So, yeah. Well, I haven't seen it, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say some of that is probably residual hatred from Captain Marvel. And
I don't know.
The inexplicable ire held by men towards Brie Larson.
No, I don't know, Benjamin. First of all, I don't think it's inexplicable, because Brie Larson is a divisive character. And you don't get to be a divisive character and not have some people dislike you.
That's fair.
So it would be very easy to explain why a certain subdivision of men don't like Brie Larson. I am not one of those people, and I quite like Brie Larson.
Yeah, I quite like her as well.
That's neither here nor there, Benjamin, because I don't think that's what's killed this. I think it's apathy that's killed this, not hatred. People who hate things still go and see it.
Yeah, that's true. You're still a fan.
No one is talking about this. That's the problem. Nobody cares about this. If everybody cared about it so much, like the people who hated Brie Larson hated her when the first film was making 1.3 billion. Yeah. But nobody cares about this. Possibly because, one, it's not sandwiched between the 2 biggest films of all time.
Yes.
2, the 2 biggest supporting cast, or the 3 biggest supporting cast members, are all from rubbish Marvel Disney Plus shows that practically no one watched.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Nobody cares about Photon, nobody cares about Miss Marvel, and even fewer people care about Nick Fury than did at the start of his rubbish show.
But this is the interesting thing, right? Photon, we've never seen Photon's powers properly on screen.
No, and we don't now either.
Oh, good. Great. We've only seen Captain Marvel in one or two flashbacks as a Deus Ex Machina kind of character.
Yes.
And they've tanked anything to do with Nick Fury thanks to that show.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that the Nick Fury in this is a completely different character. Because
What?
this is back to goofy, fun, sarcastic Nick Fury. Like, this is chronologically set a couple of weeks after that whole thing, which changed his whole life and outlook. But he's back to sarcastic, goofy, running around chasing kittens Nick Fury in this. Look, Ben, I didn't hate this. I actually thought this was all right.
Okay.
It's very short.
That's good.
It's very fast paced.
That's also good for a superhero film.
Yeah, I mean, the plot is rubbish, but
What happens? Do you want to do a little spoiler for me?
Okay, yeah, there's a baddie,
Yeah.
and I refuse to call her anything other than the baddie.
Okay.
Because who she is or what she does is completely irrelevant.
Doesn't
But
matter.
there's a baddie, Ben, and she doesn't like Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel blew up her planet.
Fair.
And she wants to make her planet better again by stealing the water or the atmosphere or the sun of other planets.
Okay, yeah.
But because she hates Captain Marvel so much, she's going to do that by stealing the water or the atmosphere or the sun of planets that Captain Marvel loves.
Oh, very good.
Not just random planets.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's her entire character there. She's played by Tom Hiddleston's girlfriend.
Tom Hiddleston's
So she's
girlfriend,
Zawe Ashton.
Zawe, yeah, you're right.
And I don't know what the character was called. Doesn't matter. She's Ronan the Accuser, but she's an angry lady instead of an angry man.
Because they killed Ronan the Accuser too soon.
Too soon. Shouldn't have killed him. So, anyway, plot is basic, threadbare, but it's lively. The action sequences are good. The action sequences where the three of them are swapping powers and jipping around the place and hipping and bopping, some of them are quite good and quite exciting and quite funny.
Okay.
Iman Vellani is great. I thought
as Kamala Khan?
as Miss Marvel, as Kamala Khan, people liked her in Miss Marvel. I didn't particularly.
Okay.
Like I got it, I understood it, but it wasn't for me. But
Well, that's okay.
In this, where she plays a teen fangirl thrust into an intergalactic adventure, she is fabulous and a breath of fresh air.
Oh, good. Good.
The three women, Ben, in it, they are so supportive of each other.
As they would be.
Women are so supportive. There's an awful lot of the things you would never see in a male-led film where something happens and then they all stop and talk about how they feel and give each other a big hug and tell each other that they can do it.
I saw a clip of this. It was spoiled for me. But full spoilers here, ladies and gentlemen. Valkyrie makes an appearance and does that exact scene.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Women are so supportive, Ben.
You can still.
Yeah.
What was the line? You can still stand. You can still stand tall, but not alone, or something.
Yeah. You could do it. Women are so supportive. But here's the thing, Benjamin.
Yeah.
I don't like, as you know, I don't like being preached to by films.
You fucking
whatever
hate
their
it.
message is. I fucking hate it. And this doesn't do it.
Oh, that's good.
It's absolutely jam-packed with women supporting each other to the point where it's borderline ridiculous at times. But it doesn't make a point of we're supporting each other because we're women and men wouldn't do this. It's a pro-women film without feeling like that's the point.
Okay.
And it's great for that. It's
Okay.
just three female superheroes whose powers have nothing to do with each other, actually, who are accidentally doing a big team up. And it's fun and it's joyful. It's fucking dumb as a brick, though, Ben. Because the whole point of having the other two there is to depower Captain Marvel. Because Captain Marvel doesn't work. They've made her too strong.
Yes.
So if you want to have a plot where Captain Marvel doesn't just come along and solve it, just swap her out with a teenage girl every time she tries to use her powers.
Yeah, that'd be good. Because what is it?
Yeah.
Every time they use the powers, they swap, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Every time they use their powers at the same time, they swap. So they can use their powers, but if two of them use their powers at the same time, they swap.
God, that's convenient.
Yeah, exactly, Ben. And then it leads to some ridiculous situations like where they're fighting the baddie. And let's say the baddie is fighting them and Captain Marvel punches her a couple of times and she stumbles back a couple of feet and like these are two powerhouses slogging it out. And then Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, a normal teenage girl, sweeps the leg and she falls.
Cobra Kai!
Yeah, exactly, Ben. But like this is someone who's fighting Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel tanked a headbutt from Thanos. And if someone can prove a physical challenge to Captain Marvel, a teenage girl kicking her in the leg is not going to knock her down. That's going to kill that teenage girl.
Yes.
So Captain Marvel is so overpowered, they have to massively underpower her to make any of the fight or action scenes make sense, but then kind of not really mention it.
Yeah, let's not draw any attention to why this is happening.
Yeah, like why exactly is a woman who can fly through a spaceship punching a baddie with the same effectiveness as a teenage girl?
Yeah, surely your fist would just atomize them on contact.
Exactly. There is no situation that you can invent where Superman and Ben Colopy are going to solve the threat by beating it up together.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. There's plenty of situations where you could help Superman. You could do his social media for him. You could...
Yeah, probably. Make him a little real.
You could do him a poster.
Yeah, I could make him a poster.
Do him a poster. You could sort out his podcast hosting. But there's not a situation where you and Superman are going to team up to physically fight someone.
I hope not.
Do you get
Michael,
what I'm saying?
That'd be useless.
No. Or he'd be overkill.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I'd just be stood in a crimson mist.
It's either one or the other, exactly. Like, let's say you were fighting The Rock, Ben. Like, if you and I were fighting The Rock, let's say you and I were fighting The Rock, Ben, right?
Right.
You'd probably be able to help me fight The Rock.
Yes.
Like, The Rock's stronger than me, undoubtedly, but he's also 50, and I reckon I could probably take The Rock, Ben. But if you were there to help me fight The Rock, we could probably get him. But if you and Superman were to fight The Rock, kind of makes it a bit trivial.
Yeah, I'm not necessary in that equation.
Well, or Superman's overkill, let's be honest, because he's just a 55-year-old actor.
Yes,
anyway,
fair.
It's surprisingly good. It's another criticism of it, and I'm not criticizing it too much because I did actually enjoy it, but a criticism of it is it's definitely been butchered in the edit. There are characters just appearing in places left, right, and center. Like someone's in space, and in the next scene they're at the front door of someone's house, and it's like, wow, what's happened there? Has a day passed? Has a week passed? Like, and there's plots that are definitely either completely gone or massively reduced. And
right.
I don't know, maybe those scenes were rubbish and they've made it better by making it shorter.
As I said to you last week on this very podcast, Nia DaCosta has come out ahead of this film and said that she found the producers of Marvel films very difficult to work with. She found the editing decisions that she was forced to make and the cuts she was forced to make very difficult. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not a great film, but it's a fun film. It's not preachy. It's not annoying. I found the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania hard to sit through. Yeah. It was a frustrating experience, and it was I left the cinema kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
But with this, I was fine. I enjoyed it from start to finish. It has its problems. It's not a great all-time classic. It's better than a lot of the recent Marvel stuff. But having seen the day before the massive, revelatory, impactful ending of Loki, and then this being trivial fluff, even though it involves the most powerful character in the series, just being trivial nonsense that's resolved and nothing really matters and nothing really changes. Very telling.
Very telling. Yeah, that's interesting, Michael. I think we're out of time.
Well, we're not really, because we had a big pause in the middle. So
we
even
had
though we're
a
closing
2-minute pause in the middle.
Do you want? All right, will we just wrap it up then? We'll do Office stuff next week.
We'll do Office stuff next week. We're just going to call this episode the Deluge, ladies and gentlemen, because we got so swamped with stuff. Unless you want to push through, but I don't think we can do our topic any justice.
No, we've got a good 25 minutes of Office horror stuff to talk about, so we might as well save it for next week.
We'll save it for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the only topic we've never been able to complete. This is the second time.
It keeps getting pushed back.
This is the second time we've had to push this topic. Absolutely incredible. I don't think we've ever wrapped it up before doing the main topic, but here it is.
I don't think we have.
I'm going to have to change all the thumbs. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of the Loki Season 2 finale? What did you think of the Captain Marvel movie? What are you looking forward to now that the SAG-AFTRA strike is over? Tell us all in a few different places. You can find us on the interwebs at www.seomrabeag.com, seomrabeag.com.
It means tiny room in Irish.
It does indeed. You can also find us on our Acast website at sherlockshelistenpodcast.acast.com.
You might as well.
You might as well. There's loads of stuff up there. Not really, but there's some stuff up there. You can find us on Instagram, where we occasionally hit around 300,000 views per reel. It's at Sherlock Should Listen Podcast.
Very strange.
Very strange.
Very popular on Instagram.
We're not. Our reels are. It's very interesting. More to the point, Michael, you can also find us on TikTok, where we also get around 300,000 views for no reason occasionally.
What's going on?
That's at Your Luck, You Listen. But the best way to get in touch with us, not really anymore, because we've just surpassed that in numbers anywhere else. Yeah. But you can hop up on the Discord, get up on it and discuss stuff with us.
Hop up on it. Give us all the sneaky news and rumours.
Yeah, tell us as much as you can. Ladies, just ladies today.
Just ladies. You've revealed a lot about yourself there, Ben.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us next week where we're talking about creepy capitalism, trying for a third time and probably failing.
No, we won't. Yeah, we'll talk about something else.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Right, goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
Right, see ya. Ben, burdened with glorious purpose to actually do the topic next week.